What's up, Motorheads, and welcome back to Gearbox Pizza. This is the Alpha Wolf, and if you're not just drooling all over your flannel right now, well, you're probably in the wrong place. And I don't know, if you're not having a legitimate emotional reaction to this, you're probably in the wrong place. Like, this might just be the coolest EV I've seen in a long time, and I don't know, maybe ever. And I know what you're thinking. You've got those Restomod demons whispering in your ear telling you that this, like the Singer or any of these crazy Restomod EV conversion Jaguars or Land Rovers, yeah, this thing's got to be another $1 million plus toy reserved for only the wealthiest among us. Yes, congressmen and senators. And you're probably pretty bummed right now, but, and what if I told you this? What if I told you that this sweetheart starts at $36,000? And what if I told you that it comes with a standard range of over 250 miles, with the ability to upgrade that range to over 350 miles? And what if I told you could hit 60 miles an hour in just over 4 seconds and have the ability to tow 8,500 pounds? Well, if you weren't drooling before, you're probably drooling right now. And that's if you haven't already paused this video to fire up yet another Chrome tab to get your reservation in before the waiting list stretches well into the 2050s. So, the thing is, and I really hate to say it, but yeah, you probably guessed it, this thing cannot possibly be real. And it sucks because, well, I don't know, in a parallel universe where Mr. Musk had a hard-on for new age Japanese style Restomod trucks, we'd probably have this instead of the Cybertruck. And this is by no way a knock on the Cybertruck, it's dope, but that's a totally different video. Alright, so how did we get here? Alpha Motors was founded back in 2020 by an Art Center grad, and if you're not aware, Art Center is probably the most notable transportation design school in the world. Anyway, this fellow is clearly a very talented designer, and before Alpha he worked at Toyota, Lexus, amongst some other big names. So, good start, but as most of you are well aware of, and those of you who've been cheering on Canoo alongside us for the last few years, well, you know just how difficult it is to get one single design in production. Yeah, just one. It's hard, impossibly hard. So let's just see how many vehicles Alpha's got in the works. So along with this sweetheart of a truck, they've got a coupe, a crossover, a sedan, a quote-unquote montage coupe, and an SUV, all of which have several different versions and flavors. I'm counting 10 versions of the truck, including an extended cab version, a full crew cab version, there's a 2-door and a 4-door SUV, there's a regular sedan, and a shooting brake version of that sedan, a couple flavors of the crossover, 3 flavors of the coupe. So, you see where I'm kind of going with this? And then, well, there's the whole money thing. Another lesson we all learned watching just so many shops go belly up is just how crazy expensive it is to start a car company. And I don't know, let's just take a look at Fisker, for example, who produced one model, just one. I mean, they ultimately burned through several hundreds of millions of dollars, and possibly over $1 billion, but the math gets a little weird depending on how you do it. But anyway, Alpha, in terms of funding, well, they've primarily relied on equity crowdfunding, and in May of 2023, they closed a Regulation CF campaign raising just under $2 million. I mean, look, good for them. But if you read between the lines, this sort of indicates that, yeah, look, there may be a lot of people stoked on this, so much so that they're willing to invest in these designs, but it also suggests they may have, well, limited access to real substantial venture capital. So by all means, go check them out, do some research. I mean, I'll give them this. They clearly have a good PR department and they know how to talk the talk, and heck, they are some very talented designers. I mean, I don't think anybody can dispute that. I mean, I've already declared my just unending love for this beauty of a truck, and I just wish it was real. I really do, and I really want nothing more than for these guys to just totally get this thing going. I really do. It's just that, well, having spent all these years in the car world and seeing just so many promising shops close, I worry, mostly about the mom and pop investors who may have been swept up in this hype. I mean, it's one thing to take venture capital money from well-funded professional investors, it's another thing to crowdfund millions of dollars from normal folk like you and me. Again, I really hope I'm wrong on this one, but I'm afraid I'm not. Look, if you follow the channel at all, you've noticed our enthusiasm for Canoo, who, somewhat like Alpha, has got a really cool design, but it's been struggling to make a real business out of it, and that's with kind of like a mountain of real actual funding. So we're going to keep digging. We're going to revisit this in the future in much more detail. And I hope there's something real, some real progress on the horizon. But I'm honestly very curious as to what you guys think. I mean, is Alpha Motors legit or kind of a product of blind ambition and just fantastic design?